do it, baby! Boom! And when I say boom, I mean there's a big boom of orders online for groceries. So the question is, will these grocery delivery drivers burn out? Because we've already started having problems with the apps. Tony from lovely Team LMDU, what up, buddy? Was doing a live where he was talking about how the Instacart app crashed. So he was wanting to give it a shot. He is being told by other delivery drivers, by Instacart app drivers, that they're making like $500 a day. And not a week, but $500 a day. And so he's like, well, holy crap, maybe I should jump on the money. And he tried to log on to the app, and it was like, sorry, we're having technical difficulties. So not sure what would happen with Shipt, but I would assume Shipt is also getting a very similar type of demand. It's huge, and so with all this extra work, yeah, there's a lot of money to be made, but can these drivers keep up with that? I mean, are they really just gonna burn themselves out by doing all of this grocery shopping? I mean, number one, they are putting themselves at risk, by being in grocery stores more frequently, maybe even on a daily basis, just to take advantage of the income opportunity. It's in an enclosed space for periods of time, and then you're waiting in line. Hopefully they're keeping that 6 feet of distance from everybody else, being very careful and sanitizing their hands before they touch their face or eat, because they could be in a more dangerous, they're in a higher risk situation, environment by being in a grocery store. So I hope that they're doing that. Not that there's anything wrong with making money, of course. If the money is there, great, just don't, catch a virus, for the money. Anyhow, yeah, it's that's what's going on there. It's just wondering, can they keep up with that? Because it's a lot of work. You've got these lines, all these people ordering, and instead of waiting for maybe an hour or two, they're having to wait for hours, maybe days, and not even getting everything that they want because supplies are running out. I'll go through this article with you, which of course I'll put a link in the description for, talking about how you're walking into the paper goods aisle of your local grocery store, and of course you're seeing nothing. And so, okay, let's order online, is what some people are thinking. So that has to do a lot with the jump. It's just the fact that they're not finding it in person. So, but these items have been having extended delivery dates. And so what's happening is it's slowly been migrating more online. Like this online grocery thing, there was some demand, but not nearly as much as this panic buying type of demand that's happening right now. It was making up about 3% of the food retail market, this online grocery and shopping. As coronavirus hit and millions of Americans began to stay home, delivery orders surged during the week of March 2nd, even before some cities imposed these quarantine orders and started locking down the cities as far as restaurants and bars and gyms, etc. Instacart, Amazon, and Walmart grocery delivery sales all jumped up by at least 2/3 from the year before. That's a lot. That's a big chunk there. Instacart partners with more than 25,000 stores in North America, and says in recent weeks the orders have surged 150%. That's 2.5 times as much. It's a big deal. So this thing is going crazy, and they don't have enough of these drivers. So they're stating they're going to be hiring a driver. So for those of you who are out of a job and are just wanting to get a job, and for any reason maybe you just don't want to file for unemployment, or it's too difficult for you to file for unemployment, or you don't think you'll get it for whatever reason. There could be various reasons where you don't want to deal with the hassle, and you're worried that it might take weeks to see your first check, and you're looking for a job. Well, they're hiring. Amazon is hiring, Instacart is hiring, Shipt is hiring. All those services need people. The trade-off is, of course, as I was mentioning earlier in the video, you're putting yourself at risk. But it's up to you. It's really up to you. It's your decision, just like it's up to me to continue doing Grubhub and DoorDash. I'm still doing it. I'm just being extra careful, and I'm keeping myself, sanitized. I have sanitizer with me at all times. If you're going to do that, go out and do grocery shopping, doing Instacart, Shipt, etc. Please do the same. Make sure that you have sanitizer with you and are protecting yourself. So the jobs are there. It's totally up to you. It's still a risk, even with sanitizer and things like that. Technically, I am still at risk if I get too close to somebody. I'm doing my best to keep distance. You would need to do the same if you're going to do this, but it's up to you. It's a coin toss whether or not you want to go ahead and do that. If you want a job, you can get one. You can certainly get one. They're the pandemic style jobs right now. Corona COVID jobs are plentiful right now. It's forcing tech companies to rapidly expand its gig workers to create new ways to deliver much needed toilet paper to the masses, which is a separate topic. I'll talk a little bit more about the toilet paper thing a little bit later, which I saw a video on. Grocery delivery app Shipt delivers for big box stores like Target, has increased its support staff and delivery hours, attempting to meet the demand, but they're struggling. Instacart announced plans at the end of March last month to add an additional 300,000 full-service shoppers, and Amazon is hiring an extra 100,000. So that could be you. You could be one of those people that they hire if you really want a job. Major grocers like Publix, Aldi, and Fresh Market rely on Instacart. Fresh Market recently started using Instacart during the pandemic. A shopper visits their favorite grocer's website, submits an order, goes to Instacart. Yep. And that shopper would normally wait for an hour or two for their groceries to be delivered, but right now wait times are a lot longer than that. Because, you're not buying groceries just for one person, but for dozens of families, self-isolating families. So there's more people. They're struggling to keep up with the demand. So buying online instead of in person is just increasing their demand. People are still buying, but bigger amounts, of course, and now on the internet. So, can they handle it? They're saying there's no need to buy extra. Products will continue to be delivered daily. But of course, that hasn't stopped people from panic buying. The other problem is the real human, of course, encountering people at one of the only places where more than 10 people are still gathering to gather your goods. Again, danger, just the trade-off. Medical workers treating coronavirus patients are on the front lines, so are delivery drivers. The person delivering bananas to your apartment is also on the front line and highly contagious, and facing exposure to the highly contagious virus. They'll provide 2 weeks of financial assistance to any of its shoppers who are diagnosed. Instacart and Shipt, as I was mentioning in my live stream last night, that doesn't go very far though. That's the problem. So remember that. Just keep that in mind, guys. If you're going to do it, can you handle it? Number one, do you want to put yourself at risk? Are you willing to put yourself at risk? Number two, if you are, can you have the mindset to be extra careful, keep your distance, have your sanitizer? And number three, will you have the stamina to keep up with demand? Will you want to do it to the point where you're making $500 a day and you're seeing these, weekly earnings of $1,500? Sure, you'd love that money, but will you be killing yourself in the process of doing it? Then again, maybe it's worth it. Maybe you do it for a couple weeks and you just rock out, and then you're dead after those 2 weeks, and then maybe take a few days off and sleep. Sure, you could certainly do that if you want the money. It's there. But then if you're there every day, you're exposing yourself every single day for hours because you're in the grocery store for a while. That's the other issue. With me, I'm popping into the restaurant, grabbing the order, and getting out. I'm popping in. If it's not ready, I'm popping out and waiting outside, as I was mentioning yesterday. In the grocery store, you're not in and out. You're in and you're like, okay, I got to get this for this customer. Got to get them their, peaches, their steaks. Here's their cereal, their cornflakes, their paper towels, whatever. So you're in there for a while. That's the problem with the grocery store shopping, is you're in there longer with a bunch of other people, there's no physical restriction other than, them encouraging, hey, people, keep 6 feet away from other people, and they have markers on the floor, which is good, which is helpful. But can you deal with, the long ass lines, the mental part of it as well, having to, be worried, oh crap, I don't want to catch anything. And every day you'll have to be facing that you're grocery shopping. Oh crap, I don't want to catch anything. Got to keep my distance. But, I got to get the thing that the customer wants. And then you got to wait in the line. The lines are probably, are moving slower as well because there's more people. First of all, you'd have to wait in line outside with a lot of these places. Maybe they have specific grocery stores that they like, I'd assume. Yeah. From Ralph's, you're going to be waiting outside. Costco, you're going to be waiting outside in a line first. So it's going to be taking up a lot of your time just waiting to even get into the store and then waiting to buy as well. So you got to figure out for yourself monetarily with what the offer is, how much you're being paid. Is it worth the risk? Is it worth my time and the possible stress of like the anxiety dealing with it and having to wait? And can you do that, for hours, each day and still be sane or, not, burn yourself out? I think you might get burned out. So, not to be negative, that's just my opinion, my humble opinion. But it's up to you. It's really up to you. Yes, you could, but then again, maybe you'll, work it, maybe a few deliveries a day just to make extra money. Maybe you're one of those people who, lost their job and don't normally do app direct delivery jobs, but you're going to do it just for a little extra money to tide you over. In that case, maybe you won't burn yourself out. So it's up to you. It depends on the person whether they're normally an Instacart or a shipped grocery delivery driver or not. How long they do it, how many hours, and how many days a week. All right, guys. So that's my take on that. With that being said, stay safe, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Do it, baby. Boom!